Fact, 6 million Canadians can't get access to a family doctor. Fact, it takes 30 weeks for the average Canadian to see a specialist. Fact, while you can't get health care, Liberals force you to pay higher taxes to fund deluxe supplementary health care benefits for asylum claimants who've been rejected, who are non-Canadians, non-permanent residents, and have never paid taxes in this country. Fact, the reality is that these services include many things that are not covered by your public plan, things like physiotherapy. Fact, the cost of providing these deluxe supplementary benefits to asylum claimants has gone up by 1,000% under the Liberals to over $1 billion. Money diverted away from our health care, jamming up our system and increasing our wait lines. The Liberals destroyed our immigration system with numbers that overwhelmed our jobs, our health care, and our housing. Not only that, they've made it so that when someone is here making an asylum claim and they commit a crime, they could indeed have lower sentences than if a Canadian had committed the very same crime. This is unfair, and it's time that it changed. That's why tomorrow, Conservatives are moving a motion to change it. The motion would force a review and a cutback in benefits to asylum claimants to ensure that non-citizens and non-permanent residents do not get superior health benefits than Canadians. Second, it would ensure that those asylum claimants who are here and have been rejected only get life-saving emergency care and not special care. And third, it would ensure that judges give the full sentence and allow for a complete deportation of foreign nationals who are non-citizens that commit crime in our country. Enough is enough. We can't allow foreign criminals to take advantage of our system, false refugee claims to overwhelm the services that you pay for. We need a system that allows you, as a hardworking Canadian, to benefit from all that you've contributed to Canada. Quick and high-quality health care, good jobs and housing, safe streets. That's the Canadian promise. We're going to restore fairness. Sign our petition, back our motion, tune in tomorrow for the debate. Let's ensure that all Canadians get fair treatment.
Quick reminder, gang, smash that like, hit subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Let's get back to it.
The honourable member for Wellington, Halton Hills North.
Mr. Speaker, Hong Kong has sentenced newspaper publisher Jimmy Lai to 20 years in prison simply for exercising his rights and freedoms of the press, of speech, of assembly, of association guaranteed in an international treaty, the Sino-British Joint Declaration. Will the government reiterate its call for Jimmy Lai to be immediately released? And secondly, will the government acknowledge that his imprisonment is a violation of an international treaty and international law?
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable member for his question. Canada is deeply disappointed with the tragic sentencing of Jimmy Lai in Hong Kong. We call for the immediate release of Jimmy Lai. In fact, we have consistently spoken out against the national security law since its imposition in 2020. While in Beijing, I reiterated Canada's long-standing position to my counterpart that the persecution of journalists, of media workers, of activists is unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, Canada will always support a free...
This investigation came to us, and what we found was money laundering, corruption, and elite capture at the highest levels. During our investigation, we had some brave citizens, islanders from Prince Edward Island that came forward and provided a depth of information that would provide for a law enforcement agency sufficient grounds to launch a criminal investigation. The Master Jin Yan, who came into the province, it is our belief from our investigation that he's tied directly back to the PLC, or the Communist Party in China. We were able to establish that the monastery has set up a network of corporations And if you look at it from a point of view of money laundering, it's what you would anticipate finding in an organized crime network. This monastery, if you look at it from a Dalai Lama's point of view, you would not anticipate finding corporations, land transfers, land flips, and citizens being paid under the table cash for residences and property. And that is what has happened in Prince Edward Island now for a period of a number of years, ever since the provincial nominee program came into existence and they were allowed in.
Again, the investigation, Canada Under Siege, how Prince Edward Island became a forward operating base for the Chinese Communist Party. An investigation that really actually spans 5 years of research and intelligence gathering, and an 18-month to 2-year investigation that involved Gary Clement and Michelle Junokatsuya, the former chief of Asia Pacific. And it has a deep collaboration, including international and Canadian security experts, whistleblowers, eyewitnesses, religious experts, and consultation with multiple governments on multiple testimony on multiple continents. This investigation began with a question: how did Canada's smallest province become a strategic beachhead for influence and interference and potentially corruption? At first, the story seemed local: immigrant programs, real estate deals, religious organizations. But what we uncovered went far deeper. We followed the money, we followed the networks, and we followed the silence. What we found were clear signs of elite capture, failed oversight, and infiltration of Canadian institutions and political parties at the municipal, provincial, and federal levels by actors aligned with the Chinese Communist Party's United Front Works Department, the Ministry of State Security. In some cases, political donations have come from members of organized crime groups in our country and have certainly influenced political decision-making over the years. Our investigation and book and documentary document how religious organizations like this particular group, Listen Wisdom, may have been exploited for money laundering and ideological influence. How the provincial nominee program enabled rapid immigration pathways, often without sufficient due diligence or follow-up, and how federal investigations and local investigations into irregular cash flows, immigration fraud, and suspicious property deals were quietly shut down without accountability. We explore how a PEI hotel housed over 500 Chinese nationals, all allegedly trying to reclaim their $25,000 residency deposits, but they used a single hotel as their home address. The owners charged by the CBSA only to have the trial shut down by the federal government itself. We examined testimony linked to the movement of over $1 billion into Prince Edward Island and other provincial jurisdictions, with tactics resembling the Vancouver model of transnational money laundering.
Oh, yeah. Canadian federal politics are absurd. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. If you've enjoyed our video, smash the like, hit subscribe. That is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Get your Canadian federal politics right here. Ciao for now, gang. Catch you in the next one.